some of the best people in the world are here, and it's a unique opportunity to compete with some of the best people. Very motivational to be a part of.
The competition is run under the auspices of FISU, the International Federation of University Sports, and everybody has to be checked in before they're allowed to compete.
According to the FISU rules, all the participants must be students between 17 and 28 years old, and I'm representing International Control Commission to check all the documents and to approve the participants to be real athletes during the competitions.
The first World University Orienteering Championships took place in Finland in 1978. Since then, the numbers taking part have grown, and so have the number of disciplines within the sport.
We have 5 types of courses. The oldest one is the classic distance. It's a long distance race and the classical gender separate relay. In this relay there is the running 3 men together and in each team, and also the 3 women together in each team. And there is the next discipline is short distance race. It's most technical discipline from this 4, and the youngest is the sprint. Individual sprint, then winning time is between 12 and 15 minutes, and the absolutely new discipline is included to the program of the World University Championship is the sprint mixed relay.
The origins of orienteering go way back to the 19th century. It evolved as an offshoot of cross-country skiing in Sweden and was used mainly for military purposes.
Orienteering is known from Nordic countries, Norway, Sweden, Finland, with a really great tradition, but also Central Europe, like Switzerland and Czech Republic or former Czechoslovakia has a big tradition in this sport, and Czechs are also good organizers, not only runners, and they organized many world events. In 2008 it was held World Championships here in Olomouc area.
Olomouc is in Moravia, in the east of the Czech Republic. The university plays an important role in the life of the city with over 25,200 students. Right now on the Neredin campus, there are also students from all over the world preparing for their races.
It's also my biggest goal this year, and it gives me experience for future challenges.
Frédéric Tranchant has already achieved his goal. The French orienteer has won the tough long-distance race here, ahead of 2 Swiss brothers, Matthias and Andreas Kirbutz. Orienteering is Frédéric's passion.
C'est la tête et les jambes. Donc il ne suffit pas de courir.
It's in the head and the legs. It's not sufficient simply to run. You have to be able to read a card in order to identify the best choice of your route. That helps you to cut your time, and you must also be able to execute your plan to find the markers.
Ces fameuses balises correctement. C'est un terrain inconnu.
It's a known orienteering area, but then you have to use the card. A card you haven't seen before the race. And as far as the route is concerned, it's always an unknown route. Even if you train with similar cards, the route changes every time.
C'est toujours nouveau, quoi.
The 26-year-old Frenchman has only just finished his studies in civil engineering in Lyon and still qualifies to take part here. He now lives and works in Finland, and he's ready for his next race, the sprint. I'll try to run the same race as yesterday. Because it's the sprint, you have a tendency to rush, to go too fast. But I want to take my time to choose the best paths and then negotiate them as well as possible. Tranchant, the sprint bronze medalist at the World Championships in 2010, knows he has some tough opponents here. There's a guy from Switzerland, his name is Martin Hubmann, who didn't race yesterday, and I think he's going to be fresh for sure. He's already won medals at the European Championships. He was 3rd this year. He's a really strong opponent. The sprint course is situated in the city of Svatý Kopeček. Part of it actually runs through the local zoo. The terrain is very hilly, with forest tracks, before they reach the asphalt of the city. Certainly going to be a very varied race, and that'll make the competition difficult because normally we're used to running only in a city or in a park, and that's quite easy. But for this one, we have to adapt technically because we'll pass from a zoo to a forest and then into the city.
Man geht nochmals seine Zielsetzungen durch. Was nimmt man sich vor für den Lauf? Mit speziell technische Ziele.
Mentally, I'm going through my goals now, what I have to achieve, what I have to do with very specific aims. And then, in the final hour, you have to warm up. And you have to try to get yourself into your best possible condition and push yourself.
Versucht sich zu pushen und den Puls hochzuschrauben.
Martin Hubman, the sprint bronze medalist at the European Championship, is fully focused. While Frédéric Tranchant looks rather more relaxed. Well, I know I'm in good shape, but the victory will be decided by the technical aspect around the course. As usual, that'll also be my focus. So Tranchant all ready then for the sprint, the bronze medalist of the World Championship in 2010, the Senior World Championship that was. And here, in the University Worlds, running a fast race, but he hesitates at the last control. It's a very physically demanding competition, this, and in the end, a decent performance, third place for Tranchant. The fight for gold, though, extraordinary. Matthias Kirbuth starting earlier than his biggest rivals, setting the time to beat, and later his Swiss teammate, defending champion Martin Hubman, crossing the finish line in exactly the same time. 2.5 kilometers, 17 control points, 14 minutes, 13.8 seconds the time. 2 golds for Switzerland. 3 seconds ahead of Tranchant for France. The Swiss satisfied with their performance. My fresh legs certainly helped me. Of course, I had to produce a good run right until the finish. I can only remember one situation where I was a little bit uncertain and I had to rethink the route. But you know, overall, I think I performed really very well.
I'm
really happy about my medals, but for me, it's not only the result that counts, it's also the way I achieved it. When you've already won a real World Championship medal, then you have to win a medal here as well. Tranchant also pretty satisfied. Well, I remember a physically hard sprint race, but I'm really happy that I was part of it, and I'll leave the event with a big smile. In the women's race, Caroline Olsen would get the gold medal for Sweden. By the finish, the gap to second place was nearly 20 seconds.
I think it's to be really, really calm in the beginning and use the compass a lot and not run too fast. Even if I think you can run really fast in this terrain, but it's so easy to do mistakes. So be calm in the head and fast in the legs.
The middle distance race is held in Protivonov. Typical continental terrain, very green, just right for a man like Martin Hubman. Norway's Gorel Rønning Sund was the winner of the women's long distance race, and she's the favourite for another gold medal here.
It's going to be a totally different race, much more technically demanding. So I have to just be really concentrated and at that race.
The defending champion, Lilian Forsgren from Sweden, disappointed with her performance. Only 24th, nearly 4 minutes behind the winner.
I don't think the weather did so much difference, but of course it was rainy when I ran, and in the beginning it was sunny, but I did 2 quite stupid mistakes where I ran too far and didn't see the control, and I lost almost as much as I am behind right now. So.
Another medal has to be shared by 2 runners, this time the bronze, won jointly by Lea Verselotti of France and Gorel Rønning Sund from Norway, 54 seconds behind the winner. Iveta Sitskova gives everything to claim the silver medal for the Czechs, 48 seconds off the winning time. Meanwhile, Martin Hubman can't deal with the difficult conditions and only comes 9th, 1 minute 29 seconds behind the winner. For Serena Jenser, the women's race is almost a walkover. The Swiss runner completing the 5.4